Weekend football plans are changing fast. The USC-Cal game is postponed. Find out why.
Fast food workers protest in Los Angeles and across the state. We'll hear from workers about what they want to change.
And a TikTok video helps police find a missing teenage girl. See how it could be a lifesaver for others as well. Annenberg TV News is next.
Live from USC, you're watching Annenberg TV News.
We begin today with breaking news. The Pac-12 has postponed this weekend's USC-Cal Berkeley football game. Good evening, I'm Gabriella Rudy.
And I'm Marilyn Parra. Our sports anchor Presley Baker has more on this story.
Annenberg Media has confirmed that the weekender is postponed. Multiple members of the Cal football team have tested positive for COVID-19. This is the first Pac-12 game to be moved this year due to pandemic-related challenges. The Pac-12 released a statement from Cal Athletic Director Jim Knowlton. He said, quote, "We have decided to postpone Saturday's game. We have had multiple COVID-19 positives within our program, and we are taking every step we can to mitigate the spread and protect the greater community." USC Athletics has not released a statement yet, but we've learned the matchup will now be played on Saturday, December 4th.
We go live now to reporter Tatum Larson, who is outside a McDonald's in South Los Angeles, where workers have been protesting all day.
I'm standing off of Manchester in South Los Angeles at this McDonald's where just several hours ago, several fast food employees gathered as a part of a statewide protest against unsafe working conditions and to demand the passage of Assembly Bill 257. This is the fifth protest since 2018 over unsafe working conditions at a McDonald's franchise. Reporter Anthony Roboto has more on the story.
Fast food employees across the state are fed up with feeling unsafe at work. Today they're demanding better conditions, hours, and wages. Workers urge state lawmakers to pass the Fast Food Accountability Standards and Recovery Act.
If passed, the bill will give workers more of a voice by creating a table of McDonald's employees to decide on better standards.
Multiple California politicians attended the rally showing support for AB 257.
Make this happen, and if somebody tells you that it is not possible, remind them that people power makes things happen, and we will get this done.
Many of the protesters are upset after recent incidents. They say sewage flooding, violence, and suffocating conditions from a broken AC unit are among the issues they're confronting on the job. One McDonald's employee says he's had to work 16 hours a day, 6 days a week under harsh conditions.
Most of the customers didn't wear masks, so didn't actually care. And I got infected, COVID at work. So yeah, it was 2 weeks that were horrible.
An organizer from the LA Tenants Unit says a lot of McDonald's employees aren't paid enough to pay rent and put food on the table.
This bill can give the ability for folks to actually have a voice, sit on the table with these corporations and say, this is what we need. These are the type of things that shouldn't be happening in the workplace.
A McDonald's representative told Annenberg Media that they support their workers by providing, quote, appreciation bonuses, local gift cards, and flexible schedules, and that measures in AB 257 would disrupt this successful model, creating unnecessary obstacles for the small business owners who are best equipped to manage their restaurants and teams. The AB 257 vote is set for January in the State Assembly. For Annenberg Media, I'm Anthony Robledo.
The Food Facilities and Employment Bill will also allow franchise owners to have a say in the resources they use for this new bill. Corporate restaurants should also be sure to follow this new code. For Annenberg Media, I'm Tatum Larson.
Thanks, Tatum. There are serious questions tonight about what concert safety protocols should look like in the future. This comes after the chaos at Houston's Astroworld Music Festival that left 8 people dead. A memorial for festival victims continues to grow in Houston's NRG Park as friends and family members pay tribute. An expert in safety at large events says dangerous situations have happened in the past, but they are preventable.
The interesting news is that they had a field hospital set up nearby to assist with any type of emergencies that might have been present at the time. So that was within their safety plan. And so when I hear those things, I think, well, there is obviously some thought put in place with regards to safety measurements. As we learn more about the incident and the operational plan, I think we're going to be able to better gauge what could have been done better. But from our perspective, as a preliminary basis, it didn't seem as if health, safety, and security were integrated under one umbrella.
At least 18 lawsuits related to the Astroworld tragedy have been filed. Some have to do with serious injuries, while others allege emotional distress from the incident.
Your hand is up like this, then you tuck your thumb in and all four fingers over that thumb and back and forth.
A helpful gesture popularized by TikTok helped authorities find a missing 16-year-old girl from North Carolina. A passing driver noticed the teenager's signals and alerted authorities. The Canadian Women's Foundation developed the gesture during the pandemic to help victims of domestic violence.
All of this was really taken into account when they developed this symbol to say, you know, we need something that is visual, but also transferable in a way through the social media that and other types of visual ways that people take things in, and so that they can learn about it and know what to do.
The signal for help is also useful for non-native English speakers and victims uncomfortable with using domestic violence hotlines.
The January 6th committee investigating the insurrection at the nation's capital delivered 10 more subpoenas today. That's on top of 6 sent yesterday to former President Trump's top officials. House investigators said they have been engaging with 150 people and may move to hold some witnesses in contempt if they do not comply soon. We spoke to Yahoo News national correspondent John Ward about the investigation.
I don't know how much cooperation the committee is going to get from these folks. Undoubtedly, some of these subpoenas will be defied when people in power or people running for office demonstrate a disregard for the Constitution, for the rule of law, and for history. We should take that very seriously.
Ward predicts that some of the issued subpoenas will have to be taken to the Justice Department to see if the department will enforce them.
With the cold weather comes an increased risk of respiratory infection. USC is now requiring proof of flu vaccination to enter the campus beginning in December. The Director of Student Health says currently 70% of faculty and staff and 60% of students have their flu shot.
We are working towards a requirement that will restrict your campus entry with flu vaccines. So our basic message with that is that if you've not gotten your flu vaccine, please do it now or make arrangements to do it the next week or two. We really want, we don't yet have flu in the community in any significant numbers, either in the USC community or in Los Angeles, but we really want to get everyone vaccinated before we start to see that.
Positivity rates for COVID have increased each week since late October in LA County and on the USC campus. USC Student Health suggests getting both a COVID-19 booster and a flu shot to avoid a potential twin-demic.
Commitment to candor is USC President Carol Folt's new communication strategy, but in light of the university's reaction to recent sexual assault allegations, not everyone is buying it. In yesterday's email to students and faculty, Folt said, quote, "I see it as USC's responsibility to communicate accurate information broadly, to listen to and answer your questions, so that opinions and actions can be grounded in truth. Many students are critical of the vagueness of the commitment."
Like, we're always, as students, supposed to report to someone when something happens. Why can't they report to us in the same matter of urgency?
The sense that I got was this was sent for like legal purposes, and it's not to address concerns of the student body at all.
For me, I'm a person that likes to see things through actions rather than talk. So until I see like improved communication throughout USC, then I can't really, say what I have to say about President Folt.
It almost makes me feel as a student like I'm just like their market for like publicity, and I'm just here to make sure that they feel like they're doing enough.
In the email, Folt directs the USC community to online documents, FAQs, and the recent online town hall for questions and concerns. Prices of goods have reached a decade high. We tell you why the cost of your milk may increase.
We talk live with the creator of a USC sustainable fashion show. Find out how you can get involved.
And the director and actors in the Squid Game talk about filming of the popular Netflix series. That's ahead.
Worried your friend's struggling but don't know how to reach out? You could say how are you or get a fake tattoo. You could ask with an app if it works for you. You could write him a text or knit him a sweater. If you can't be together, you could write him a letter. Whatever gets you talking. Whatever gets you talking. You could chat on the game, kick off your flip-flops. You could ask on your couch while you binge watch. However you do it, you gotta ask a friend. And if they don't share, you can ask again. Whatever gets you talking. Whatever gets you talking.
There are a lot of ways to reach out to a friend about their mental health. Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand, trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
You may have noticed things like gas, vegetables, and more toys getting expensive lately. Today, a major measure of inflation, the Producer Price Index, reached a decade high. This may affect your holiday shopping. The PPI is what businesses use to track growth. It represents how much businesses are paid for goods and services. Over the last year, the PPI rose 8.6%, the highest rise in 11 years. Gas prices are responsible for the third of the increase in goods, while auto sales accounted for over 80% of the increase in services. Since October 2020, the wholesale price for gasoline went up nearly 90% and beef and veal went up over 40%. Roasted coffee went up less than 2%. Some good news, alcoholic beverages are down nearly 1%, but truck transport is up more than 15%. An economics expert says prices may not stabilize in time for the holiday shopping season.
This is really a matter of trying to play this day by day and trying to take advantage of the opportunities that you can. When you do see things on sale, if you have the space and you have the cash, then you probably should stock up. But we're really in very uncharted territory here. We've never really been through a situation like what we've been going through before.
Supply chain issues and semiconductor shortages will likely drive up prices for consumers. How much? We'll find out tomorrow when the Consumer Price and Index gets updated.
With more live events getting the green light on campus, USC creatives are ready for their close-up. Here's entertainment reporter Halee Anderson with a new segment focused on Trojans in the arts.
In this first segment of USC in the Spotlight, I'm excited to welcome a guest who is gearing up to go live in 2022. Lena Rabine is in the studio today. Lena, it's fantastic to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
You're an environmental studies major, and you're going to be producing a fashion show next spring.
Yes.
Now, I've been on Artemis, the production house. I've been on their website, and it's impressive. They've produced music videos, short films, theater, comedy, even a quarantine zine. Can you tell us about their vision?
Yeah, so Artemis is an incredible club, and I'm lucky enough to be working with them on the fashion show that I'll be directing for Spring 22. They're just amazing. Their core values are intersectionality and just giving a platform and a voice to creative students at USC.
Amazing. Now, their last live event, after producing live events every month, was October 2019, pre-pandemic.
Yes.
Now, you're in production on their latest event, a live fashion show scheduled for spring 2022.
Yes.
Tell us more about your fashion show.
So the whole goal for the fashion show is that it's a collaborative and sustainable event. So what that means is that we're currently taking applications for designers and sewers who are going to work in a group effort in order to put on this fashion show in the spring. And then it's sustainable. I'm an environmental studies major, but what's really important to me is that we source all of our fabrics and materials secondhand from thrift stores and kind of using fabric scraps from runoff of larger companies.
That's amazing. Listen, Artemis is billed as an intersectional feminist production company. So thank you, Lena, for having been the perfect first guest for us. Now, for more info on Artemis or to get involved in its next projects, go to www.artemis@usc.com. All righty, you guys, that was a great first guest. I'm going to throw it to Arath for weather.
Happy Tuesday. There are only 16 days left for Thanksgiving to take place, and we have never been more excited about it. Temperatures today stayed below the average, and we're currently having that of a way below the average afternoon with a bunch of clouds, 60 degrees with good to moderate air quality. For our 5-day forecast, we go from below temperatures today to average temperatures tomorrow to well above average temperatures for the rest of the week. High of 80s for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Sunday cooling down a little bit, highs of 83 degrees. Still a little warm, but not as much. Quite a lovely week ahead of us, if you ask me. Veterans Day gets blessed with wonderful sunshine. From the bottom of my heart, I thank the brave. To those who serve and to those who have served, thank you for defending our freedom. Presley, our Trojan basketball team is getting hot at the Galen Center. Take it away.
Yes, they are. USC men's basketball starts their season tonight at home versus CSUN. They're looking to set themselves up for a March Madness run. The Clippers and Lakers have had slow starts to the season, but a few star players are bringing their teams back. Max Scherzer is getting high regards from Major League Baseball, but will he stay in LA next season? ATVN Sports is next.
Leaving hot coals improperly extinguished can cause a wildfire.
Hey guys, it's Smokey!
It looks as if Smokey is going to use the drown, stir, drown and feel technique. After the first drown, a good start. Next, another drink. And finally, a close feel.
Is it cool? Okay.
Yeah.
Hey Smokey, catch! Oh, my bad, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
When I was your age, I was just like you, fascinated by stars. But now I get to search for life in the universe. And who knows, maybe life is looking for us too.
So we're like aliens to them?
Yeah. Does anyone want to be a scientist now?
I do.
Awesome. We need more girls in STEM.
Maybe we can find aliens.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, read your lease. No pets allowed. My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
The Galen Center will be hot tonight. USC men's basketball tips off the season in less than an hour against Cal State Northridge. Hi, I'm Presley Baker, and welcome to Annenberg Media Sports.
And I'm Emily Bonilla. Men's basketball is back. The Trojans are looking to build off their Elite Eight appearance. The Pac-12 preseason media poll has USC ranked 3rd in the conference. Crosstown rival UCLA is ranked the unanimous number 1. Isaiah Mobley will be taking the reins now that his brother Evan is in the NBA.
I look forward most to just having fun with the guys this season, winning, try to make another great run. I think we have a real good chance this season, and we're really deep, and it should be a great and exciting year.
The junior forward averaged 9.9 points, 7.3 rebounds, and shot 43.6% from the three last season. He shot just 54.5% from the stripe as a sophomore. Presley, do you think the Trojans can go deep into the tournament this year?
You know, Emily, I think it's Elite Eight at least. You have not only junior Isaiah Mobley, you have seniors Drew Peterson, Isaiah White, Chavez Goodwin, who all got not only great minutes in the tournament last year, but great minutes in really key points in the tournament. I think that the team is strong. Like Isaiah Mobley said, they're deep. Even though Evan's gone, I think that you have some strong forwards who are older and some that are freshmen that are going to fill that gap. And I'm hoping that we can go to Elite Eight, if not all the way.
You know what, Presley? I agree with you, and some extra points on that. Isaiah Mobley is taking really a strong hold of this team, being a leader. There's a reason why he didn't, go in for the draft just like his brother did, and so he's got a lot of unfinished business to do this season as well. So I'm excited to see what basketball buzz there is now that football buzz is calming down. So I think so too.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was sad for everyone to see UCLA go farther in the tournament than we did, but I think that it was good for the Pac-12, and I think USC, maybe we're a basketball school now. Who knows? Well, anyways, now we're going to talk about some hockey. The Kings are riding a 5-game win streak into Montreal tonight, taking on the Canadiens. The Kings are tied 1-1 at the end of the second period. The Canadiens are out toughing the Kings on the ice with 25 hits to LA's 8. But the Kings have had the upper hand in shots on goal, 25-18. The Kings are currently 5th in the Pacific Division of the Western Conference. Their 5-game win streak is the longest in the NHL. It's take 2 against the Trailblazers tonight for the Clippers. Last week, Damian Lillard was too much. The Clippers lost by nearly 20 points. Tonight will be all about perimeter defense. Last week, Lillard went 5 for 7 from behind the arc. The Clippers could use another big game from Paul George, who's been on fire lately. Clippers forward Paul George and guard Reggie Jackson both tore it up against the Hornets on Sunday. George and Jackson had nearly 40 combined points. George had 42 points against the Trailblazers last week, just 2 days ago against the Hornets. Reggie Jackson got in on the action. The two combined for nearly 40 points. It's been a tough week for the Hornets. They also lost to the Lakers in overtime last night. Forward Carmelo Anthony was the star with 7 3-pointers this season. He's shooting 58% from 3. Melo ranks 4th in the NBA from 3-point range. The Lakers guard is locked in.
I feel good, man. I feel like I'm in a great rhythm. I feel like I'm just taking advantage of what's out there on the offensive end. My teammates is believing in me and finding me, and they leaving it up to me to knock those shots down.
Dodgers ace Max Scherzer is a finalist for the National League Cy Young Award. The World Series champ is already a 3-time winner. Scherzer went 15-4 with a 2.46 ERA. He struck out 236 batters and walked only 36 in 179 and a third innings pitched. Max Scherzer is a free agent. There's a possibility that other teams are looking to take him, especially with a lofty budget. John Heyman from MLB Network is reporting that Scherzer wants to pitch into his 40s. This marks the lookout for a 3-year deal and a record-setting salary. Presley, will Scherzer be a Dodger? Next season?
Emily, I do think he's going to be tempted by the Phillies. He was on the Washington Nationals for nearly 6 years, and they're rivals with the Phillies. So I think the Phillies already have their eyes on Scherzer. I mean, they mixed a lot of their pitching lineups this season, and they haven't been to the playoffs in 10 years. So I think they're looking for someone to bring back consistency to the program, and they're looking to shell out the money for him. So I think that would be a good choice if he doesn't stay in LA.
Presley, I'm going to have to disagree with you here. I think the Dodgers know how valuable Max Scherzer is. He's got the second highest ERA in the season and the highest in the Dodgers as well. So we'll see how that goes for the Dodgers.
Yes, we will.
And that's all we have today for ATVN Sports.
Squid Game director and cast members give us insight into the filming of the popular Netflix series.
Lávate las manos por 20 segundos como Elmo.
Hay algo especial acerca este lugar. Se siente como un hogar, una sala debajo del cielo y los árboles, rodeado de aire fresco y la naturaleza. Todo aquí para que lo disfrutemos y para que lo cuidemos. Tenemos la responsabilidad de cuidar de esta tierra que llamamos casa, de preservarla para las generaciones que vienen. Cada acción pequeña contribuye para un cambio mayor y cada uno de nosotros podemos hacer la diferencia. Hay algo especial acerca de este bosque. Es un lugar donde se hacen recuerdos y juntos podemos preservarla y protegerla.
The worldwide hit Squid Game came to Hugh House in Hollywood last night for a special screening. The Korean drama is the most watched series in Netflix history, with 142 million viewings since its debut in September. The show is generating major awards buzz and likely to be a favorite for the 2022 Emmys. We spoke with the director and USC alumnus about having fun and taking chances.
For film students and other students to take risks, you always have to handle a certain amount of risk for a bigger reward. The bigger the risk, the bigger the reward you will receive. If you don't take risks in your 20s, then it will be harder to take risks in your 30s and 40s.
We also spoke with cast members about the making of the show and some of its themes.
I guess we just want to create something new. We want to work really hard to endlessly incorporate an emotional and fun element to our work. We endlessly think, talk, and shoot about it.
For me, this was not my line, but Lee Seung-jae's character says to Kyung Se-byo, people don't trust others just because they are trustworthy. Otherwise, without trust, there's no one to lean on.
Most TV shows in South Korea run for just one season, but the director confirmed that Squid Game will return to Netflix for season 2.
Tonight we continue our series about people who are making a difference in their community. Reporter Hajaba spoke with a young boy who had a hard time in school. Today he is inspiring others to embrace their superpowers.
A young kid who is using his words to spread love and confidence to other kids around the world.
Be kind, love yourself, and you're super duper power.
Ever since he was 4 years old, Dante was known as a kid who misbehaved. He was diagnosed with ADHD at age 7.
My past experiences, because I had a hard time going through tantrums when I was younger, and books really calmed me down, so I told my mom I wanted to write a book about powers, but not superpowers, accountability and confidence.
Javonda Wade took her son out of public school to teach him at home. She says it was the best decision she could have made for Dante.
He always had big emotions. Very sensitive, very joyful, little goofy little kid, just want to run around and play. But at school, it was just different. As a parent, you want to give your child, and you want to help them, but when you cannot, it's so hard.
Dante always loved reading, and books calmed him down.
A lot of books at home. That's our thing, like bedtime stories, sitting down, read. If we're reading to each other, that's just how we do.
He loved books so much, he decided to write his own to help kids like him.
I want them just to have lots of faith in themselves, a lack of confidence, or not even a lack of confidence, just a lack of self-esteem. I want my book to give them that self-esteem.
The message is to believe in yourself, harness your powers, and have confidence. Dante hopes to continue his mantra with dreams of writing another book. For Annenberg Media, I'm Hajaba.
What an empowering story. It's very inspiring that the power of reading can really do wonders.
I completely agree, Marilyn. I think it's so cool that he's so young and wrote his own book. Like, that's insane.
I know, amazing. Thank you all for watching Annenberg TV News. From everyone at Annenberg Media, I'm Marilyn Parra.
And I'm Gabriella Rudy. Good night.